everyone. Good morning. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the rescue. Here for today's Cricut Chat. It's Wednesday, April 14th. I know that because it's also my birthday. Yay! And I could think of no better way to spend my birthday morning than with you. And making flowers, which is one of my favorite things to do. So that's what we're going to do today. Hello and good morning. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you for the birthday greetings. I appreciate it. Let's see. It's such a beautiful day here today. It's quiet. My son's gone off to school. He was like trying to get himself out of school. And that's not unusual for a 15-year-old, I suppose. Thank you, Kathy. I have a little bit of viewer mail that I want to show you later on. And we're also going to be making these giant paper roses. And we do that all live on our daily show, Cricut Chat. So this, if you're new to us, welcome. Make sure you introduce yourself because this is a wonderful group of people. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Aledra. Thank you, everyone. So it's a wonderful group of people. Thanks, April. April, is your birthday in April, or are you just named April after the beautiful month that it is? Hi, Nancy. Thank you. Yes, I'm looking forward to a wonderful year, especially after last year. I was trying to recall my birthday last year, and I had I had a meeting about my chemo, and then I went to chemo the next day. So it was kind of a dud. It was kind of a dud last year, but I'm looking forward to it. Later on today, when my son gets home and my sister is out of work, we're going to have a little celebration, just three of us. And I think she's going to get a cake because I love cakes. And cake's like my favorite food. And then I've lately been craving fried clams. And if you're not from the Northeast, especially the North Shore, you don't know, if you never heard of fried clams, you don't know what you're missing. Oh, they're so wonderful. And normally we go up to Essex or Gloucester, Essex mostly, because that's where a lot of the clams are dug. But we'll go up there to like Woodman's or some of the other places that, Paper Roses, yes. Some of the other places that just invented the fried clam. And they give you this, and it's fried. Yeah, I know it's fried. And tomorrow I'll start my diet. Thank you. So they give you this just enormous plate of fried clams. Now, hi, Bren. I love my clams with the bellies on them. They're like squishy and soft. I know a lot of people might go, ew, that's gross. Yeah, fried clams and a lobster roll. Yeah, I love lobster rolls too. And so what burned down? Some place burned down? What place? Woodman's? I didn't hear that. Anyway, so yep, steamers and fried clams. I like fried clams better than steamers, but I like all fish and especially shellfish. And I know a lot of people don't, but that's what I wanted. So my sister said, "Let's do that," and I said, "Okay." But we are, we're in sort of a landlocked city for the North Shore. And so we don't have like a beach or anything. So instead we're going to go to one of our favorite places that also serves like chicken and steak, because Owen's he likes lobster, but he's not a really big shellfish fan other than that. So we're going to be doing that. And guess what? Oh my God, guess what? We were trying to reach 13,000 followers on YouTube, and we did. We hit it. So I told Owen this morning that we have to have a little celebration video. Yeah, of course, with the bellies on. Oh, yeah. Not a lot of people eat outside of, the New England coast, eat the clams with the bellies, but I think they're the best part. They're so squishy and gross, and I love them. Anyway, so we hit 13,000 followers on YouTube, and that was my goal. Thank you, Tara. That was my goal, and so Owen said, well, we need to do a video, and he was trying to scheme a bunch of different things. So I told him, well, when everybody gets home tomorrow, we'll do a little celebration video with the cake and everything. So look for us later on today as we celebrate. Okay. Thank you, Susan. So don't want to talk too much about birthdays because, it's like after a while, it's just the thought, it's like, like my son asked me, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm like, I don't know. It all came down to, I'd like a cake and something nice to eat that I don't have to prepare myself. So that's what, and as far as presents go, we buy ourselves our things all the time. It's not like it used to be when you were little or back in the day where, your birthdays were something, you'd get a gift. Anyway. So anyway, we are doing really well here. Today's a beautiful day, and we're going to be making paper roses, but not 15 though, Susan. It's 13,000, but I'm hoping for 15 soon enough. So I'm going to be forward thinking and say thank you. I do hope that we can hit 15. I think 15 would be a good number. I think, what did we say it was going to be for the end of the year? 20. So if we hit 20, that would be so awesome. And so definitely tell people. I know you guys do. You always tell people, like when you're in Michael's or something, you tell people about me, and I so appreciate it. And so at any rate, we're going to be doing these giant paper flowers today, and I want to talk about them a little bit because they are so big, that I think I mentioned this to you guys before. If you look down here, this is on the project section. If you look down here and you see how many sheets of cardstock you need, and this is 12 by 12 cardstock, by the way, you need 15 pieces of the pink or whatever the base color is for the bud, and 3 of green. 18 sheets of cardstock. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am a hoarder with my paper, and I have so much paper, but to give up 15 sheets of cardstock before knowing what this really actually turns out to be was a little too difficult for me. So what I did was I resized it to a shape that only took like 3 or 4 sheets of cardstock. And I want to show you what I did. And then I put together the rose. Now this one, believe it or not, I made this like 2 years ago. It's got a lot of dust in it because I left it on a shelf, but it looks really good. It ripped here. I don't know what happened, but I think the dog actually ripped it. But this is the way it looks small. This is the small version, and it's still pretty big. It's like bigger than my hand. And so I resized these to small, and then I have a medium, and then I have a large. But when I got to the large, I was like, I really don't have 15 sheets of light pink cardstock that I want to use. Well, I do, but I was like, oh, what? I know they're going to, that I think the large, I have never made the large. So I did cut it out, and guess what we're going to do? Because I started thinking, well, gee, who has 15 sheets of the same color, right? I decided, let's make a rainbow rose. So that is going to be the large one. We're going to do it in rainbow. I cut it out in order, so when we put it together, it will be in order of like the rainbow. And I thought that is fun. And I did use it from a variety pack. I did take it from a variety pack. Actually, I took it from this one here that we were talking about the other day, Precision Cardstock in the Brights. And I ended up using, I was able to get it down a little bit, but it ended up using like, instead of 18 sheets, I think it was 16 sheets. So I thought a rainbow rose would be kind of cool. So I just thought, that's kind of cool. Now you will need, to make this, you will need any size, I think. You do need to have a glue gun, and I do have my little baby glue gun. I need to get a new one. The one I have was given by my friend, is so industrial that I'm like afraid my fingers are going to fall off. So you do need that, and you need something that to shape the paper with. And that's about it. There is a little bit of scoring on here, but it's not a whole lot, and it's the kind of thing that you can score it with the stylus if you don't have a scoring wheel. And I actually have cut out the 3 different sizes so we can put them together. What I'm thinking is it's a little harder to put it together when it's smaller, but it's so much, less paper that as you get bigger, it might seem a little bit easier to do. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is where I got this original. I will give you the file with the resized, okay? But I got it from projects by typing in rose. And when you type in rose, you can see there are a lot of little rose type gifts, and not all of them are actually roses. I mean, like 3D roses. There are a couple 3D roses, but this one here is what we're working on. Let me go back to the canvas and show you what I have. So, excuse me. The rose comes in like this. Now I'm going to make my screen small so that you can see how enormous this thing is, right? So let's ungroup this. Now it comes in, and this is the bud, the very inner piece, and then it has these different sizes. It has this, and these are all the greenery part. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I managed to get that on. And the smaller thing, I got it on 1 sheet. So there are actually, let me just move these. Come on. Whoops. Okay. So there are actually 4 different types of petals on this. This is the middle, like the center, right? I'm going to show you how to put it together. And then it goes to this one. So it starts to get big. So it goes from the middle to the smaller one, and then it goes to this one, and these are the ones at the end. Now you notice they have these ones here have these little slits in them. That's to give some dimension to each petal. And I've actually done this a couple of ways where I made it very like I crisscrossed them, and I thought that kind of looked better than the rest because it created like a cup on the petal. But I'll show you how to do that and as we're going forward. But to just kind of visualize this, what we're going to work on these pieces first, and then this. And we're going to work from the center, working out. So we're going to use this. I'm going to create the center, and then this, and then this, and then we'll do the greenery, okay? Now, I will tell you that this is a very, very popular, at least for people favoriting. This is a very, very popular project, but a lot of people favorite it and then they get overwhelmed. So when I started working on it, that's when I decided, I've got to do this in I don't want to waste all this paper. You guys know how that goes, right? So this is the way it comes in. And let me just group it. And then what I did was I just piled everything on top of each other and decided that I was going to choose different sizes. So this one here, let me just ungroup it because I'm trying to remember what size it comes in at. I think it might be like 8 or 9, maybe even bigger. I don't know. But the whole thing is rather big. So this is how I resize. For me, the way I do it is I pile it on there because it gives me a good representation of what the finished size is going to be. I do the same thing with cards. So when somebody asks me, how do you resize cards? Because oftentimes they come in and it's all laid out for you, and that's really great, but you don't know how to size them. So what I do is I pile them like this and see, actually, the width is like 11 inches. That's huge. That is huge. And so what's better to do, pile them here, and here is the same thing in the medium size and in the small size. So this one is only 5.5 inches, and this one is 8 inches. So I went from 11.5, and I created 2 different sizes. So when I first started working with them, I just cut them in this, and actually that size creates this size rows. So today I have all 3 sizes that I want to show you. We'll start with the small one because that might be the one that you end up trying first. And you know what? If you don't like it so big, I actually like the size, the created size, the 5-inch size. It looks really pretty. It's still bigger than what you normally would have. So it's still pretty big. And it kind of, to me, it's cut a little weird, but I understand why they cut it that way, and so we'll talk about that. So let me move you down. I'm not going to cut this out today because I don't really think there's much to learn about the cutting. It's a pretty straight cut. You just need to know where, do you have enough pages? Do you have enough cardstock to make this? And let me just show you. I'm going to hide this one. And this one, this is a small and the medium. And if we were just going to cut the large size, of course we get the message, it's a big project, right? And you look over here and you'll see that there are indeed 18 different mats. And you might be able to use 8.5 by 11 inch paper. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, the largest piece will fit with 8.5 by 11. So if you have 8.5 by 11, maybe that would work. But so there are all of these pieces. Now I was able to move some of the pieces around and get it down to 15 pieces, but that's still a lot. And so, this is how you would do it. Like, for instance, these could be two on one sheet. So you could just hit move object and you go and you put it onto another mat. And when it comes in, it might not look like it fits, but just flip it around. And there you go, 2 fit on 1. So you're able to shave off a couple of these. Let me show you that again. So here's one on the mat. So I'm going to hit move object. And then I'm going to choose, this is the one that I'm currently on. So I can't move it to its current one. So I'm going to move it to this one. And then what happens is it comes in sort of on top of the other one, and you're just going to move it so that it does not overlap. And so if you turn one upside down just by using this circle thing, that will get you to fit two on a sheet. And then you'll see that we have a couple of mats that are empty, and when we get to that third page, they'll just disappear, so don't worry about them. Okay, so the same is true for the leaves. I just would move the object here, so on this one, and I could just kind of move it here, and then this piece also can move. You can either move it to this one or that one. I'll probably put it here. And they all sort of fit. Don't ask me why they don't do this naturally, because I really don't know. But in this case, I was able to reduce the number of mats from 18 down to 15. So it's still a big project, and I would recommend let's do it small first and see how that goes. And then you can decide, do I want to do medium? Do I want to do large? And so that's the way that we're going to proceed, okay? Oh, the bounding boxes. Yeah, Shirley, that's right. Shirley's so smart. Yes, the bounding boxes around the pieces, but you can manipulate them. Okay, so here is the small one. I've got the medium here and the large ones over here. And they're separated into two groups. Obviously, this is the greenery, so we'll just put that aside. This is I did this one all in one color, and also this one all in one color. So here is the inside, what's going to be the bud. It's actually two different pieces. This one has a little tab here, and we're going to put it together. I'm going to show you how, but before I put it together, I want to show you how this breaks up. So there's one, sorry. Okay, here we go. So these two are the buds, the inside piece. Then we're going to go to this size, and then we're going to go to the next largest, and then this is the very large one. So what you need to do before you can kind of start gluing, or what I would suggest that you do, is you need to use like a scraper. You can also use a dowel. You can use like a like a ruler, a small ruler, or a bone folder, bone folder. But what we're going to do is just kind of create some movement in these petals. Now, I've done this where these parts are out, and then these parts are either in or back. So I want to show you kind of what I'm thinking with that. But we need to make sure that all of them are sort of rounded. I've seen people actually use the side of their desk and sort of round it that way. But this part in particular, this sort of V shape, I think has to come out. But the way we do this, I don't know. I'm creating some movement here so that when I go to put it together, it will move better. Okay, so let's start with the middle bud, which is this one, and there's two pieces, as I mentioned. This piece here is the innermost, and it has two tabs. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue this tab and then this tab, and all of a sudden we have a square in the middle, and we're going to also glue this like this, and that will create the actual bud. You can get a little smaller on this, but I like this size bud. Okay, so let's get our glue gun, and the first thing that we're going to do, I think that we would glue it to the back. So we're going to glue that first tab like this. Give it a second to hold. And I actually ripped here, but that's okay. It's okay if you have a little rip there. You know, not all flowers are perfect either. So if something gets ripped or doesn't look quite right, that's okay, because, you know, flowers have their own unique shapes. They're not all absolutely perfect. So there is the bud piece. Now I have taken to putting a tiny bit of glue here and here. And while I'm talking about glue, I will mention that you could try this with our glue from like Barely Art, but when you get to the other pieces, the bigger pieces, I just would definitely go with the hot glue gun, because it's so much easier and you don't have to wait as much. So here I am, I closed it up, but I'm also going to put these two little pieces together to form that bud, okay? Then the next one, you'll notice, has no tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to situate it opposite. So you could do it this way, but I think it would look better this way. There's that square piece. So just put some glue. I keep losing my my glue thing. This is why I need a better glue gun. Aledra, I'm going to get that glue gun that you told everybody about. Okay, because it's cordless. And I just can't stand corded glue guns. Okay, so I'm putting it on this way. See that? So that when I start to create that bud, I'm going to move it in, and it really gives that look of the bud, right? And again, just a little bit of glue with the glue gun, but you guys know how I feel about glue guns. I'm just not really super happy about them when I have to work with them, but I do it when I have to, and usually when I have to make flowers. So on this piece, I'm going to sort of bring it in, not super tight, but tight enough that it looks like it's sort of opening up naturally. And then this one also here. And there and there. Okay? Be careful with the glue gun because they're so hot. And then here, so there is our bud. It's already starting to look like a flower. And again, this is the small version. It's not the large version. The next is the one that has a fold here. And you'll notice that this has like almost like a square bottom. And that's going to make it a lot easier for putting these on. So what I would suggest, there's I think 4 of them. Yeah, there's 4 of them. Is put the glue on the bottom and then rotate, and we'll come back and we'll attach the leaves, the petals later. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 by rotating the petal each time I put one, rotating the bud each time I put one on. That makes sense. Too many squares. I like that it's square because flowers can be so like sort of round and delicate, and I kind of like the squareness of it. All right. So I'm putting, and you don't see that squared off version at the end. It's just to establish the middle part. You see that? It's really starting to look like a rose now. Now, what you can do here, it's up to you, is you can start and put some glue here to sort of keep it pulled in. However, the next set of leaves, which has this sort of cut in it, and I'll show you, it kind of like cups them in, so you may not need to use that. So let's not do it and just kind of go on to this next step. So here's this cut here, and if you cut it, now I don't think you should glue it all the way closed like this. However, if you do, it might pull the rose in pretty thickly, and that might actually be a good thing. I have been putting it sort of halfway, but then I started thinking, look, it creates a square, and if we put it on here, it will just hold those leaves up. So let's try it that way for this one, and then we will, if we find that it doesn't really work, then we'll change it up. So there's 5 of these, or 4. There's 4 of these, and we're going to glue them all closed. Try to do them really severe closed like that. Creates like a cup on the petal. And do them all ahead of time. Okay. Now there's 4. But I found that when you're putting these on, you should kind of do them on the points of the square, not over on that square. I keep dropping it. I'm so sorry. And so by putting it sort of on the base like this, it grabs that leaf in, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not sure if it was designed that way, but I'm going to assume that it was. So I'm putting it on this way, on sort of on the corner. You see that? Sort of cool. And I'll do the same with the rest, the 3 that are left. Sort of on the corner. And it's starting to pull it in, so we didn't really need too much glue on the actual rose exterior part, just on the back, right? So again, this one goes on the corner. And then here is the last of the 4. Now, you guys will be better at the glue gunning than I. But, you know, if you want to sort of pull this in a little bit, maybe put a little bit of glue here, you could certainly do that. Or you could just sort of shape it with your fingers. See that? Almost done. And we're down to the last pieces. These also have a cut down here, so I'm not going to do it too severely, although when you cross it over, it does create that squareness too. So I think for this one we'll do it almost all the way over. I'm not quite sure, and I'll tell you, the directions are really bad. They're really bad on that. They should have better directions, and I think that's why a lot of people, they might favorite it, but they don't actually create it. That and the fact that it uses a lot of cardstock. So I'm just closing these up, the last bits, and these ones do not have tabs like on the bottom. But it's a cup, creates like kind of a cup. I wish I was better at glue gunning. I'm just terrible at it. I think I have a fear of being burnt. So, okay, so here is the rest. Now, there are 5 of these, not 4. So we want to sort of layer them, and we can start here and sort of just start and layer them on. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. Now, because of the way this is set, you do have to hold it for a little bit longer, just to really make sure it's pulling in to the back. Okay. Isn't this easy? So easy. It's just, you know, it's just the idea that it's so big, and by making it smaller, it just kind of makes it a little easier to understand. So that will make things much simpler. Now, I will admit that at this point, it gets a little bit weird, and we are working on the back. It gets a little bit like kind of difficult to hold, but try to use both your hands there and put some more glue here. And you see, I'm not like making them so severe, like, you know, north, south, east, west. I'm kind of just sort of overlapping there, and then the last one goes on here, and we're almost done. Isn't that crazy? Let me put some more glue. Okay, maybe I didn't put that in the greatest place. Okay, here we go. And flip it over, and there is your rose. I think that's a pretty darn good looking rose. I've seen some others, and obviously this is paper. There are like crepe paper roses and stuff that look way more authentic. But if you were going to maybe make centerpieces or something to put on your, I don't know, on your dresser or something, then this is a nice looking rose. This is the small version, okay? Now let me tell you about the greenery, because it's very simple, but I just want to show you it. So there are 4 leaves, and they have a blunter end and a pointier end. And then there's a pentagram. Is that a pentagram? Pentagon? Pentagon. Pentagram. That's something totally different. And we're going to put some glue on the pointier side, and we are going to affix it sort of, I don't know, 1/2 inch or so into the pentagram. And so let's do that with all 5. And we just kind of, it doesn't kind of matter how this looks because it's going to be covered up. But I like to have the pointy parts sort of touching in the middle so that they're equidistant. And there is also this piece here, and I'm going to sneak it in. Okay, so here we go. Did I do that right? Yeah, I think I did it right. All right, and this piece, I will tell you from previous endeavors, this piece can get kind of messed up. So try to get it in as close as you can. I know it was probably designed to be sticking out, but I don't think, well, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so then we have our floral sort of spray, or the leaf spray. We're going to turn it over and see how it gets all covered up. I mean, yeah, there's some glue, but you don't see all those different, bits of glue. Give it a little bit of glue to hold it on. And press it down. Now, this is where you can fluff. You guys know how I like to fluff. So you can kind of sort of play with it a little bit, but I'm not going to, just simply because we got to move on. We got to do that giant, enormous one, right? So that is the small one. I'm going to switch up. I'm going to go from that to the bigger rainbow one, and if we have time, I'll do the medium one. Okay, so this is the way that it was originally designed. It's much bigger, but it's the same putting together, the same instructions to put together. There's this innermost piece that has the tab. We're going to glue it. Oh, I probably should have glued it to the back, but I didn't. Oh, well. And here is this one. I will glue this one to the back. So I think, I don't know, will it be easier to work with a bigger one, or will it not? I don't know. We're going to find out. So there it is. And we're going to take and glue right here just to kind of create the bud. Just to grab it. You guys all with me? I hope you are. So you can tell the difference, right? The size difference. Sandra, I did think about it. Sandra's asking if you can do it in crepe paper. And I did think about it, but to be honest, I did not cut it that way. So I might try that later on after we get off and show you what happens. I think if I were going to do it in crepe paper, I'm not sure that I would cut it on my maker because these are so big. I think what I would probably do is just cut out like a template in paper and then cut it out with the crepe paper. But I did think about it. I did for sure think about it. So here we go. I'm putting that second part of the bud on. Just gonna sort of gently attach, but not too tightly, those, okay? And keep working on that. Now, I did not shape the petals. Wow, this is going to be a huge rose. Giant is right? Might as well, since it's on here on the top, I'm going to get the leaves ready. That will actually give us a good idea of how big this rose is going to be. So here are the pieces for the leaves. There's our pentagon. I'm going to turn that one over. And they each have like a fold. That's done with the scoring stylus. Okay, and we're going to use that tip. Put a little bit of glue on there. Yeah, this is going to be a big rose. Okay. Look at, I don't even have any room for this. Wow, this is crazy. Okay. And sort of this last piece and then the other piece. Okay. So here's the 5. And then we'll attach this. Clearly, you know, I am not a master of my glue gun because I have all these like little ribbons all going around, but you guys are probably better at it than I am. Man, I see people with these glue guns. I'm like, how do they get so good at it? I don't know. Oops, what did I do? I put this on the wrong way. Duh. Rita. Okay. I should put it on this way because they're all folded this way. So there is going to actually be the size of this flower. Isn't that amazing? All right, so should make sure I glue this on a little better. I'm going to put this aside. I just figured I'd do it and get it out of the way. So here's our bud. Now next up, and as I said, I did it in colors and I tried to keep the rainbow. So the next one is this orange, and then comes up yellow. I did 2 in yellow and 2 in green, and then I did blue, darker blue, and violet. So let's make sure that we do a little bit of conditioning of the paper. So we're going to fold it here at that squareness. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to take our little scraper. This is a scraper. And I want to make sure that this part is sort of rounded out. And I don't know, like I sort of think this part should be sort of semi coming in to give it a sort of a tighter rose, but I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but this definitely needs to sort of bend over. And I use this. You don't have to use this. You can use whatever you like. I have used spatulas. I have used rulers, bone folders, dowels. I think Leo uses dowels. But it's entirely up to you. I like the idea of using the side of my desk, but I can't really show it to you that well. So, okay, so here are these 4 that I've, oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, sorry, 3, these 3. All right, and let us attach those. I think this is going to look really cool. So let us attach those. Remember, it's just that square. And we're going to put a little bit of glue on here. Start with 1. Didn't put that one in very well, but that's okay. Gonna need another glue stick. Okay, another glue stick. 1, 2. I think somebody would come up with better glue stick technology. I keep telling Cricut to do that, but apparently it's not. It's kind of small potatoes, I guess. I don't know. They'd rather put the adhesive on the paper. I don't know. I spend a lot of time thinking about adhesive. Isn't that weird? Okay, so here are the next pieces. And again, we can glue this, but let's work on these pieces first and see how that goes. So we're going to fold this and glue it, but first we have to. It's easier to do this on a larger scale, actually. Well, maybe I'll make these ones come out. Okay, you can't stay with us. That's all right. You get the idea, and we'll have the replay too. So, I understand. This is the kind of thing I think it would be great once you have it all cut out to work with somebody else on, especially if you were like, say, having a baby shower or something, or a wedding shower or something, and you need to make a backdrop. Excuse me. Or I think with this rainbow thing, if we were having our Pride event this year, but I don't think we're gonna. This would be a great sort of photo backdrop if we did it all in rainbow format. Okay, so there are these 4, and remember we have to fold them like this and create that cup. So we're going to do that. And we'll do that for all 4, but we're going to put the yellow on next. Right, because I'm trying to achieve a rainbow effect. I think that's right. I might be wrong. Oh well. It's my rose. I can do what I want, I guess. Okay. All right. So again, we could glue these together, but honestly, I'm just going to pull them in a little bit first to see that I put this on correctly. And remember, there's the 4 squares, but I'm going to put these sort of kitty corner. Was that what you would call it? Sort of put in the point part of the square to sort of pull together that rose. So I think this just seems daunting when you take it on as a very large project. But once you've made a couple, I'm doing yellow next, right? Yeah. Once you've made a couple, I think it sort of becomes like a little more easier to understand. Woo! It's getting there. See, what happened was I ran out of a particular color. Like I only had like 2, so that's why I changed up the colors sort of midway in the petals. If I had enough of the green or the yellow, I probably would have done that. But that's okay. Again, we do what we want. All right. Oh, very interesting, right? Oh yeah, tea light inside would look great. Now again, if you want to, you can take and glue some of these inward if you want. like, I don't know if you want to do this, I don't know. It's up to you, but I'm going to leave it open because I just want to move on and make sure that it is all put together. It does feel a little loose here, so I'm going to try to put a little bit of glue down here to kind of hold it in. Don't know why it feels a little loose there. Oh, here, this is why it's feeling a little loose. Didn't have enough here. Whoop, hold on. There we go. Okay. All right, the next up is our final piece, the one that needs to be, we're going to do 3 different colors, actually. We're going to glue it this way. I don't know, do you glue first? Let's try first glued. Okay. Need another glue stick. Okay. Glue, glue, glue. This is one huge rose. Man, it's ginormous. Okay. Now, to be honest, cutting it out does take a long time. But look, I haven't even been like 50 minutes, and we've already almost done 2 of these. So once you get the groove, then I think you could, and cut them all out. If you were making a lot of them, it wouldn't be so bad. I'm going to use this light first, and then the dark, and then the purple. And I'm going to put the glue, I have to shape the petals a little bit. Yeah, I should have shaped the petals before I did the gluing. Well, rookie mistake. All right. I think I will try this in crepe paper, but I think I'm going to hand cut it because I just think cutting, because the crepe paper comes in these like really big rolls, and to have to cut it all down to like 12 by 12 inch size, putting it on the mat, I don't know. I think I'd rather just cut out templates and cut them out by hand, at least for the big size. So look for that, I guess, later today. And this was an odd number. I suppose I could have cut 2 of this just to kind of for symmetry, but I didn't. Maybe you will. All right. Okay. So light blue. 5 of them. I'm so happy that you all are getting your vaccines, and I'm so glad. I am waiting to get my my appointment. It's hard to get an appointment here. But I am now eligible. But I just haven't been able to get an appointment. Not going anywhere, although I did have to go down to town hall yesterday. They have a nice way that they have it set up. So it had been closed for nearly a year to public traffic. So I had to go in and take my oath of office for my commission, for the Conservation Commission. So it was nice to be down in City Hall again. I can't wait till the senior center opens back up and we can kind of get going there. Hopefully everybody will be vaccinated soon and we'll be able to get back to all the activities. That'd be kind of fun to broadcast from there. Oh, good, Penny. Yeah, I think I might cut another one of these for just for symmetry. But look, let me get up higher. I think that's pretty awesome. What do you think? Do you love it? I don't know. Rainbow is her favorite color. What, your granddaughter? That's awesome. And then we can take and put our very large, the greenery on there. I don't know. Yay. Yeah, thank you, Susan. Yep, I was very pleased to have received, if in case you didn't hear, but I'm very much into conservation, and the mayor has seen to it that I become a conservation commissioner in our beautiful town. So I'm so excited to be working with the conservation group and bringing some new and fresh ideas to the city. All right. And that is, yeah, isn't, wow. I mean, this is so big that, look, maybe I have to kind of glue that on there. But I kind of like the multicolored one. So I don't know what you guys think, but I like the multicolor because it's sort of cool. But there is a way around not having enough paper, okay? Right? So, oh, viewer mail. Thank you. I do also have a medium one to put together, but we don't have time. So let me just show you my viewer mail because she sent, this is from Kathy Crowley, who's in Idaho. Kathleen. I think she goes by Kathy, though. From, Boise, Idaho. And first, look at the envelope. I never thought to decorate the envelope. How cute is that? And then she sent me this beautiful cupcake card. And then she created it into a shaped card, which, there it is. And it's also that, it looks to me like the Art Deco dot, really pretty. And to Miss Rita, I hope your day is the best possible. Thank you for teaching me how to make so many beautiful projects. I love your sense of humor and the way you teach us all not to take ourselves too seriously. That's great. You shouldn't. I wish you the best. Your friend in Idaho, Kathy Crowley. So cute. I think she probably used offset to make that, which is pretty awesome. And then this one is from, now she didn't put her, it's Joyce McCain. Look at how cute this is. And thank you for helping me learn to make cards. So she made me a card. Joyce McCain from Theodore. I don't know if that's Missouri, Alabama. It might be Alabama. It might be Missouri, Joyce, if you're there. Thank you for the card. I received so many lovely cards from so many friends. I showed you them on Sunday, and maybe I'll take some pictures and put it on my page. But thank you all. I do so appreciate your well wishes, and it really does make a difference. So I hope that we'll see you later on today when we pop in, probably around like 4:30, 5 o'clock, just to show you the cake, because I'm a big believer in taking pictures of your cakes. And every year I get to see all my different cakes, and they all sort of look the same after a while, but you know, because I like a white cake, like a regular white cake with white frosting and pink and yellow flowers. That's what I always like for cake. And so my sister and I, we go to this, I just like cake. All right. So my sister and I, we go to this really great bakery called Tripoli's, and it's in Andover. There's also a great bakery in Peabody called Diorce's, but Tripoli's is a little better on the prices, I think. My sister is very price conscious, and so she wants to get the cake from Tripoli's, and it's just really very fresh, very, very fresh. Nice Italian bakery, just like they had in Somerville when I was growing up. So I hope that this was fun for you, as much fun as it was for me. And let's see, what do we have left? Oh, one more thing to mention. Lori Whitlock is having her monthly sale. So that's at shop.loriwhitlock.com. It's like 30% off. So I thought that I would present on Friday or maybe Thursday, but I would present something of her newer cards where they sort of pop up in a different way. So if I happen to pick something out in particular, I will tell you, but I think the sale goes on till Friday. So so that way you guys can sort of, if you want to purchase them, you can sort of grab them. Will I call my college sweetheart? Will you get a call from your old sweetheart? I don't know. I spoke to him on Saturday. He called me, and then on I checked in with him on Monday, because he had gone to New York for his parents' estate. So I don't know. Maybe I'll send him a note. I don't know if he remembers my birthday. Maybe he does. I don't know. But anyway, there is our beautiful rainbow rose. And I hope that you give this a try. And let's see. That's it. I'll give you the file for this, and I'll also post a link to the cardstock that I used, which is AC cardstock. Okay, and that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoy your day, and we'll see you hopefully later on when we pop in to show you my cake. All right, everyone, take care of yourselves. Bye.